to show enough on the stool to show that he could fight another round. But luckily, I mean, unfortunately, but at the same time, luckily for him, it didn't go on too long in the third round.
And I think a big factor in that, and a lot of people were talking about this, I heard it on the Anik and Florian podcast, but they were talking about the age of Shabazian. So he's only 22 years old. So if you look at it from the corner's perspective, like you said, you want to extend his career. He's 22. He doesn't need to be taking those shots again. So you should probably just throw in the flag at that point. But then again, like when you're looking at it from like Herb Dean's perspective, age isn't really a factor. He kind of just takes everything as it is, equal for everyone, and makes the call. What is it? Kazmat Chimaev?
Yep.
So they're giving him, I believe, Gerald Mearshart. And then they said if he wins that, he's going to get Demian Maia on Fight Island. So Dana White's, already double booking him, which a lot of people are like pissed off about, but also I'm sure people are fired up to see Chimaev back.
Oh yeah, and I think Mearshart's a good test, because Mearshart is decently well-rounded fighter, pretty decent on the ground. I think he did get KO'd his last fight. It was like really quick. I think he got KO'd. But no, I think that's a good test. But to me, like, that's a huge jump from Mearshart to Demian Maia. I mean, they're two totally different levels. Like Demian Maia, yeah, he's older, but he is like, if there's 10 levels to BJJ, he is level 10. Like, after watching the tape back, and some people broke it down on Twitter, he received a calf kick, and we saw it before in the past with Michael Chandler, where it basically makes your ankle almost give out, or like you can't put any pressure on that foot, and it just starts looking like you're doing the stanky leg out there. And stanky leg, do the stanky leg. And that's kind of what it looked like it was doing. But CHITO VERA, I'm getting a little angry that people are not giving CHITO VERA the credit that he deserves, because a win is a win, regardless of how it happens. And don't forget that the fight was on the ground after, and yeah, Sean O'Malley's foot was hurt, but that has nothing to do with your defense while you're on your back. And CHITO VERA was just raining down elbows, like the most violent elbows I've ever seen, and he looked phenomenal. Then it's crazy to me. Like, I would be pissed if I was Leon Edwards too.
Yeah, I think the problem here is that Masvidal has made it clear that he cares about the money. Like, he's been very open about saying, I'm going to take whichever fight gives me the most money. And he's even had the back and forth with Dana because he wasn't getting what he wanted. So, to me, it's just a strictly money thing, where the Nate Diaz, it's the BMF round 2, they're putting the belt on the line again. That's, I'm sure, probably going to sell more money than the Leon Edwards one, just because Leon Edwards is still, even though he's number 3, I don't think he really has like the star power name. But Jan, he is 7-1 in his last 8. He's really figured something out here. He just had a pretty big win over Corey Anderson, which brought him to this title fight. So the odds are pretty one-sided. Dom Reyes is the heavy favorite, but I actually like Jan here. And I'm actually going to take him by split decision.
I think Jan, since he's lost to Diogo Santos, has looked insane. He's looked unbeatable, to be honest. And the way he flatlined Corey Anderson and Luke Rockhold, kind of give me a fight right now. So, yeah. But the way he smashed Corey Anderson in the chops was nice. And I'm with you. I like Jan in this, especially as a serious underdog. The odds here are 11-1.
Because it's like, I got a question mark. I just don't know. It's really, really tough. I just don't see Jan being finished. I think that's the biggest thing. I don't see him getting submitted, and I don't see him getting knocked out. I think that, and I agree with Norton. I think that Jan's gas tank is meant for 5 rounds, where Dom's isn't. I'm gonna say Dom tires out round 4. I think Jan keeps pushing the pace. I'm going to go submission victory. Jan Blachowicz, round 4. Seeing John Jones and Adesanya still going at it. This might go down as like a record breaker for most shit talking, like consecutive days, like non-stop. I mean, good Lord, when are they going to end this?
That was the first thing on my list, was just more John Jones and Izzy Twitter back and forth, and like I'm so over it. And I saw another article today on an MMA Junkie. It was just like Israel Adesanya hints that like the beef is going to get a lot darker, and I was like, where are we going with this? Like, what is? Are you guys?
How much darker can you get? Like, he already talked about his dead mother. I mean, good Lord, how much darker can you get? I woke up this morning, and like my routine in the morning is like wake up, scroll through my phone, see if there's anything, and I wake up and it's just another page. Like John Jones put out like 6 tweets, and then Adesanya just matched it with 6 more tweets. It's like. To finish, what was your overall takeaways from this card? Did anything surprise you? Did you guys feel like it was 100% worth it for me? Like, sometimes you get those big pay-per-views, you're like, I don't know. This card was everything that everyone expected. Absolutely amazing.
110%. I'm a moment guy. There's only so much time. I have so many kids. We're all so busy. We got so much stuff to do. I am a moment guy. The Last of the Mohicans. The movie's a little long. It's not that great, but that end scene's phenomenal. So I'm just a moment dude. The moment at the end with Khabib winning and how he won, and him crying for his father. Every man can relate to it sooner or later. And then retiring as this just John Elway, Michael Jordan type of moment. I still have goosebumps talking about it right now. It was incredible, worth every penny. Saturday afternoon. It was absolutely. I got so much more, but I would love your guys' takes as well.
No, I totally agree. I think, you're obviously building up to that moment at the very end with Khabib and Gaethje, but you look at all the fights prior to that, and, the Whittaker-Cannonier fight, that has a ton of implications. Volkov gets like a huge win, so now he's going to kind of move up a little bit. You have a couple of UFC debut guys making a name for themselves. So there's... Yes.
Paul is a monster.
Exactly. That fight specifically was unbelievable, and we were kind of questioning why that was kind of tossed into this card to begin with, but I think we were looking for that like round 1 big finish, so I thought the whole card was awesome.
I love Paul Felder, dude, and he comes in at the plus 185 underdog. I think that's a great bet to take. I'm going to go Paul Felder, and honestly, it's tough because RDA does not get knocked out, but just because I'm a Paul Felder fan, I want to see Paul Felder go out and win this fight by knockout. If it's his last fight, I want him to put an exclamation point on it. I hope it's not. I hope he keeps fighting. This fight is guaranteed to be a war. Every fight Paul Felder's in has always been exciting. So I'm going to go Paul Felder. I'm going to go out on a limb and say KO or TKO, but most likely I kind of see it really going to decision. But I'm hoping the Irish Dragon can get it done via knockout. I'm going Felder knockout.